In this video, Jens Tigges will give us an update on what's happening with the 7mm PRC in Europe. We will also discuss the new 22 ARC and ELD-VT and V-Match ammunition from Hornady.
So now me and Jens have moved over from the Savage booth and move a couple of meters to the Hornady booth. Mm-hmm. And we are standing here with some yell blocks from the 7mm PRC, and you guys who want to learn everything about it, I made a video last year at the SHOT Show, so just take a look on these. But now with the 7mm PRC, you can use it in Europe as well.
Yeah, I mean, finally we are lucky that it's CIP approved and guns can be approved and ammo can be sold. So we think we need to refresh it a little bit because it took a year, bureaucracy getting easier. But now it's finally in the shops. You can buy rifles, you can buy ammunition, and I think it really has the potential to be a very good all-around cartridge. If you need a one-do-all cartridge, it is really interesting also for Europe. It can be used worldwide, but to understand the advantages, really the efficiency. These cartridges were made to shoot super efficient bullets. You can't compare it to any existing cartridge because in the past we only need to know what is the bullet weight, what's the diameter, what's the muzzle speed, and we had a good feeling what the bullet is capable of. But these are so efficient compared to a 7mm Remington Magnum, for example. If you shoot a classic hunting bullet, you easily lose 100 meters per second at 100 meters distance, which is normal. I mean, we're all used to that. But these bullets are so efficient, they use the half of it. They only use 50 meters. So without having more recoil, without having to use a longer barrel, without burning more powder, you get a full caliber class up in target energy, target impact velocity and target energy. And this is, I think, it's a really new era. We can really talk about like a new era of cartridges, which the 6.5 Creedmoor belongs to it, 6 Creedmoor, 6.5 PRC, 300 PRC, it's all one big family. But the 7, because of the balanced diameter and weights, I think it could really make a perfect replacement in the future for like a 300 Win Mag. If you need one level up, if you maybe for your everyday thing you do a 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor, but you need something bigger for longer ranges, for bigger game, you want something with backup, maybe you go to Africa shooting plains game or whatever, that cartridge is really awesome. I mean, also we use shorter barrels now. That out of a 22-inch barrel, it already gets full energy. You almost get the same speed that's on the packaging, measured out of a proof barrel. And yeah, it's really, really interesting. Instead, we have different loads here. That it's a classic ELDX hunting load. It's an extreme good all-range hunting bullet with a lead core, classic. A lot of energy transfer, you can see, very efficient. But we also have a non-lead version with a CX, and with the speed and the impact speed especially of that bullet, you have a lot of backup. It's a really efficient bullet, and it will work for all type of game. So I think something really worth trying. I'm happy that you are maybe looking to that. I'm
absolutely.
Eager to see your findings.
Yeah. I have waited to just get a rifle in it. It has been hard to hear in where I live in Sweden to get the 7mm. But now I think they will arrive this year.
We just had the first 5 rifles proved in Germany last week, so I'm eager to test mine. We already tested it abroad. We did a prong-on hunt in the US. We shot a few prong-ons with it, and I shot a chamois elsewhere with it. And so far, I'm very impressed. Yeah. But I said, of course, we need more, feedback from our game situations, hunting situations here. So I'm really eager to see how it performs.
No, it's the first cartridge that I actually it's interested in, like a new cartridge. Otherwise, there is new cartridge out all the time, but this feels really, really interesting.
Yeah, it offers something new. It's really, we can really talk about like a new era. It's really a new time for bullet performance or cartridge performance. So.
But you also have some new interesting stuff for this year.
Of course. Let me grab it. So the new caliber for this year is a 22 ARC. It is based on the 6mm ARC, which was developed as the replacement for 2-3 and 308 military cartridge. So that one is in use with some high-profile special forces, the 6mm version. But of course, there's also hunting applications, and what is better for, or what is more proven for varmint and predator hunting than a 22. So it was pretty obvious to neck it down to 22. So here we have a cartridge which has the performance of a 22 to 50 in an AR-15 package. So very compact, very efficient cartridge again. But the big difference to the 22 to 50 is I can use high efficient bullet. I can use longer bullets, heavier bullets. I just finished a test for a magazine with a 2 to 3 and 1 in 7 twist with bullets up to 90 grain. And they have less than half the wind drift of a classic, let's say 55 grain bullet, even with the lower speed they have. So I think that's the future, because we all been in that situation. If we shoot foxes out on a big field, elevation we can do. There's a lot of good ballistic apps out there, and that is pretty much solved. You know, you can really precisely click that. But wind is a big factor. And if this is way more forgiving, you know, and has way more backup, you know, for mistakes, I think it makes it really interesting.
Yeah. It looks mean.
Yeah, it looks. It's highly efficient. It looks like a bench rest cartridge from the 6 PPC. You know, that style. Bullet seated out of the neck to make it very efficient with a powder. 30-degree shoulder, tight tolerance in the chamber, so extremely accurate. And that little cartridge deserved a complete new bullet. So Hornady developed a complete new bullet generation with it. So the new bullet is the ELD-VT. ELD stands for extreme low drag, means high ballistic coefficient, doesn't lose a lot of speed in flight, very less wind drift. But the only downside is in the past it was heavy for caliber bullets. So yeah, it was super accurate, super efficient, but heavy weight. And on the varmint hunting, you want a fragmenting bullet. So you need a higher impact speed. So what Hornady did is they developed a bullet that has a high BC, the high efficiency, but with a slow weight, because they left an air gap between the tip and the lead core. You can see there's a little gap. So it is the length of a heavy bullet, but it's the light weight and the speed of a light bullet. So, and VT tells it's varmint and target. So it's made for 2 applications, extremely accurate, but extremely aggressive in the game. You know, it's fragmenting immediately. Hornady developed that in different calibers. We have it in 22, 6mm, 6.5, and 308 even. So 174 grain in 308, for example, which has the length of a 208 grain. So really, really, really interesting. And what Hornady also did is that since that bullet is so special, they even came up with a brand new line of ammunition with it, the V-Match. Again, V for varmint, and match for target shooting, dual application. And that's factory loaded. That comes in the 22 arc, 6mm arc, 6mm Creedmoor, 6.5 Creedmoor. And yeah, that's it for now. So I mean, that's a factory loadings what we're offering, because you need a faster twist for these bullets. So you can't just load it in other standard calibers so far. But the reloader gets it as a bullet, and he can just, you know, turn it up to the twist he uses. Yeah.
I think this can be really interesting, especially as you said, for fox hunter and guys in Sweden hunting seal. It could be pretty long distances and small targets.
Yeah, but I think it's windy there, right?
Yeah, it could be really windy. I've only tried it once, but it was windy.
Yeah. So I assume it will take approximately another year to have it CIP approved here. So maybe next IWA we're standing here and it's approved, like the 7 PRC is now.
Exactly.
But it's the reloader can have the bullets already. And the existing calibers will come, you know, the V-Match in 6 Creedmoor, 6.5 Creedmoor, and these 6 ARC. These calibers are already CIP approved, so that will be available.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jens, for telling us about this. And if you want to learn more, just check out Hornady's homepage.